What the heck, Dylan? Put both on. Oh, we're live.
What's going on, guys? Back here once again. Now that we got new comics to talk about. Waiting on my man Trinity. Should be here any minute. But we wanted to get started because Kevin can't be here so long, and I know Bearded's got only an hour himself. So, yeah, man. Thank God we got new comics back, and this was actually a great week, I'd say, man. We've had some good books coming out the last month or two that we've been back, but this was a really big week for me. I don't know about you guys, but one of the bigger weeks for me. I'd say this was the biggest week I've had in a while. I've had some that come close, but I spent a lot of money. Kevin knows.
I didn't spend as much this week, but it was my final week that I was putting everything together for all the Tinian stuff. So it still was a decent sized week. Hey, Trinity.
Hey, my man Trinity. Good to see you, brother.
Hi, Trinity.
It's been too long. I'm so glad we got this.
Hi, Trinity.
What's up, man? How y'all doing? Hey, you got the...
What's up, Trinity?
God, that's fucking weird.
I was reading X-Force beforehand in case we were going to talk X-Men, but one thing why I wanted to start this back up too, Trinity, just because now I don't know if you're going to be picking it up, but I want to talk about death metal when all the tie-ins and stuff come out. So that's another good, event we can talk about.
Okay, everyone say their favorite death metal band. I'm gonna go with I should go with the classic death, but I'm gonna go with my favorite death metal band, which is Carcass. Carcass. Okay. Who else? Who else has a death metal band?
I thought you were
I don't know.
Favorite death metal? Oh, that's pretty easy. Oh man, I think who was it that they put it best? I hope you get hit by a bus. Why? Death metal sucks. That's
who said that?
Who is that? Lich King.
Oh my god.
That's actually a great heavy metal page. Is Metal Sucks, but
Yeah.
you got to go with the classic. I mean,
yeah.
Chuck invented death metal. How could you not say death? Death
Chuck
is
Schuldiner. Death was obvious, so I had to go with Carcass.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't really listen to much death metal myself. I'm mostly thrash and heavy.
Well, apparently only me and Kevin are the ones that suck, but that's 3 people in the chat that don't suck, so that's the 500. That's
Hey, maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. I don't know.
Yeah. Greg likes Tracy Chapman. Big Tracy. He looks like a big Tracy Chapman guy.
Wow.
Does that happen? How do you even get?
Nothing wrong with having a fast car.
Yeah. Melissa Etheridge. Big into Melissa Etheridge.
Oh yeah. Heck yeah. Come to my window.
Just the window?
Huh? Oh, speaking of never mind. We won't talk about the coming. I was doing that earlier.
That's our private chat, Trinity.
My bad.
That's right.
I mean, literally, they think I was joking. Literally, that's our private chat.
Yeah.
Unleash the Archers. Those are all great bands, Gamma Ray, but none of that's death metal. Trivia, maybe.
Yeah, you heard of those whisper networks? That's what we whisper about.
Yeah. I'm wondering there's so many books. I'm trying to think what's one we could talk about first, but then you
I'd
guys
say your thumbnail, dude. Oh my god, yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna talk about that one. I got my favorite cover out for it too, but I figured some of you guys have to have read this.
Let's do that'll be one of your books, right? Let's do what we talked about in the private chat before we talked about ejaculation. Where because if there's 6 people on here,
yeah,
we each get to talk about 3 books.
All right.
Right, but you could do we could do covers too, because if we all talk about 3 books, and I get to talk about 6, and that's going to be a good hour right there, isn't it?
Yeah, no doubt.
At least.
Let's go.
All right, start off, Dylan.
All right, my first would probably be then Alienated. Now this book is something, and a big reason why I do want to talk about it is because it was a book that I really didn't care about when I first read it. I thought it was unique, I thought it was cool, but it did not. I was like, oh, I'm reading too much, man. I'll catch it later, and I didn't even pick the first issue up. And then Robbie and Mike, who work at Robbie's comic shop together. They sent me issues 1 and 2. And I was like, damn, bro, this is issue 2 really steps it up. And then, issue 3 and 4, really, really raised the bar. Those are the best issues so far. 3 and 4 were some of my favorite issues, period, this year. They were really, I don't know, man. It was really deep, some of the stuff they get into. But it gets so creepy with this alien, too, and how they're all able to kind of connect with each other through their minds. I really have enjoyed it. Boom Studios, man, just once again, showing that, they're just one of the best indie companies out there, man. I want to know, I hope one of you guys read this as well. Did you read it, Chaos Trinity?
I feel like that's all I've been talking about is that book for the last 3 days since it came out. Me and John have just been talking about it nonstop.
Really? Oh, well, I would have picked something else out. I got more, too.
No, I could. I'm not saying I'm sick of talking about it. I think it's great.
All right. Well, then I'm gonna go. Then I won't count
to me,
that.
There's an underlining reason why everyone keeps talking about it. Is it's a very impressionable story. It's written well. It's drawn well. It's presented well. I think that the company is marketing it well. Just. I think that's the underlining reason why everyone keeps talking about it. Is it's something that I don't think anyone had major expectations for, but it's now setting a high impression on everyone.
The reason I'm telling Dylan about it is I've literally also talked about it with him on Instagram. So
yeah, I know.
I still haven't read issue 4 of it yet, but I'll tell you, it is a good book. It's one of those books that it's one of those books when I first started reading it, I'm like the first issue I read it, I'm like, it's okay, it's a decent book. We'll see how issue 2 does, because I read it and I'm like, this is like a typical thing, it's like we got a YA tale about, we got 3 insufferable Zoomers who have their little problems. Oh, they've got, and then you get into issue 2 and it's like dang, all right, they really kind of get into it. And then issue 3, I they really started jumping in. I was like, damn, okay, this isn't just that so far. And I haven't read issue 4. But issue like I said, 1 and 2, or issue 1, I was kind of I don't know. And then issue 2 and 3 just really stepped it up. I'm like, okay, they're doing something a little bit different here, and I kind of like it. I want to see how it plays out for sure. Yeah,
it felt different to me from issue 1. Mm-hmm. And then issue 2, I think a lot of people forget that they actually kill someone in that issue.
Yeah.
So it was deep then too, but people forget.
Yeah.
And then obviously 3 and 4 have knocked it out of the park as far as issues wise.
Yeah.
And the way they deal with it. So
I know
definitely would have been in my top 3, Dylan, but now that you put it in yours, I could choose a new one.
No, I'm
still leaving it as one of my top 3.
I sideswiped it, so I still get 3. All right. So my real first one. So all right. This is another book. Y'all had to have read this, man. Old Haunts.
I didn't.
Oh man, this one was good. Another AWA title. It's like these old mobsters.
It's like Goodfellas. It's like Goodfellas meets like supernatural stuff coming back to get revenge, man. The skeletons coming out the closet, man. It's coming through.
Yeah. Years later, the skeletons coming out the closet, and these bones are, I think they're the bones of the people they buried over the years at this one spot that they would always go bury the people that they whacked. And the creature has the coins on its eyes, where they would kind of, in the old days they would put the coins on their eyes with the whatever symbol that was on it. And I the artwork in this is just, it's really good. I would at first I was Robbie said he didn't really like it as much as the first issue. He said it was still good, and I was like, oh, it's not gonna be that. But I really enjoyed it. There's the beginning it starts off as like an old, like when the mobsters are younger. Well, the one guy who I guess was the hitman, and it's kind of like a black and white scene to kind of separate it, so you know that this is back in the day. And he meets this guy, finds this guy at the bar, and the guy's getting drunk, and he basically knows, he's like, all right, let's get it done, because he knows that the guy must have talked to the cops or something, snitched out, and now he's been sent to get assassinated or whatever. And the man, I just really thought the way it started was fucking awesome, dude. I love it because I'm a huge fan of Casino, Goodfellas, all that stuff. So I've never read like a horror mobster story. It's a supernatural mafia story.
What issue is that, Dylan?
Issue 2.
Okay, so it's something someone could get caught up on. Like I can
yeah. You could. I guarantee you could easily order these issues because AWA is a new company. So that's
I like a lot of what they do. And so that was one I hadn't picked up yet. So
yeah, I'm loving what they're like. I've been picking up everything. I want to give everything they do a shot because they seem to be doing a lot of horror stuff as well.
Yeah,
but
I bought
like sci-fi horror stuff. I feel like because they got the Resistance, but Devil's Highway is another one I'd recommend.
I've pretty much read through all of them because I bought all of these volumes.
Dude, I only have the first 2. I wish I had those, man. I want to read
I've got
Hotel.
So I've read pretty much like most.
They're only 4 or 5
It doesn't go through all, like these 4 don't go through everything that they have, but I've read through a lot of them, and I like what they're doing there because I mean, obviously, when you're starting a new company, you want to build a universe, and they're kind of doing that, this kind of shared universe, and I like what they're doing with a lot of this stuff, the way it all seems to play together well.
It is shared. It's not a shared universe, is it? It's not a shared universe, is it?
That's kind of what the idea was, to have somewhat of a shared universe where people can dip their toes into it or not if they choose not to.
I mean, because the resistance is a worldwide thing that should affect every book.
Right, and if you read enough of these, they all kind of have that same feel, that kind of post-apocalyptic feel, or just that same kind of thing going on in them, like a that kind of a theme kind of going through.
Each story is unique, but they all have they all kind of have a similar feel to it.
Yeah. I like them, but I'm not going to buy everything from one company, especially when I think other companies have proven to be a little bit better. Like I'm going to buy every #1 from the like Heavy Metal, that magazine is spinning off. They're doing their own like regular size comic line. Like I'm going to buy everything from that. So I can't just keep jumping in. A lot of these books too, they feel like they're all good. I like Devil's Highway. I've liked all of them that I've read. Even the ones like Resistance, I probably like the least.
That same here.
Like the least. Haven't read #2, but they all feel like they're supposed to be movies. To be honest, like that's how they feel.
They do. You could see they're trying to maybe get their shit option, but it's a new company, and if they're putting big names on these books as well. It's not like they're just throwing nobodies out there. So that's another reason why I want to give this company a shot because they haven't failed me so far. Like you said, Resistance would be my least favorite. But Resistance, you're good, bro. Resistance would be my least favorite, I'd say. But I've loved everything. Devil's Highway was great. Old Haunts, Year Zero, and Red Border even got a lot better. Like issue 1. I could see what they were doing, and then issue 2, we got this. Just by the cover, I was like, man, there's like some Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibe going on with this crazy hitchhiker guy saves these Mexicans, and now they won't let him leave the house or nothing, and just something crazy's going on, and I don't know. I've been loving what they're doing, but yeah, man, that's just me. Like right now, AWA, I'll give their book a shot. I'm not saying like I'm gonna buy every time.
Doing trades? That's not the company that said they're not doing trades, right? There was a company that came out that was really doing trades.
Oh, dude, I'm pissed because Hexagon is only going to be digital and then a trade book, and that's a book I know Trinity's probably bummed about as well. So that was one by Michael Moreci that we were loving.
I want to read Hexagon.
And matter of fact, that's one that I'm not as mad about.
Yeah, I'm not.
As I was with like what Marvel did or anything like that.
I was more bummed.
Yeah, and here's the thing is because like Tom Bilyeu, as great as those comics are, Tom Bilyeu's not trying to completely just like get into the comic book game and change it or anything like that. He wants to get his stories out there. He wants to get it in as many hands as possible. He literally says in some of his videos, pirate this shit. Take it. Do whatever you have to. Just get it out there. That's all he wants. He just wants you to read it because they have plans to actually get that to screen. And I believe they are working on an animated movie for Neon Future. I'm not sure if they're going to do an actual movie of it.
That's very cinematic too.
They're doing a Funko Pop for that guy.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Oh, are they?
The DJ. I was going to message it to you because I knew you would love that.
Yeah, but for the DJ, not for the character. For the DJ, not the character.
Yeah, Steve Aoki. But you know,
really? Yeah, either way, that's kind of cool.
It's the same thing, I'd say. I mean, it's Steve Aoki in the Neon Future.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and those are both good books. Yeah, I've been getting those ones digital as well. It's been a pretty good series. And like you were saying about the AWA upshots, I really do like what they're doing over there with the universe. I'm not going to buy all the titles neither. I got these collected editions. I'm definitely getting the Michael Morisi books, the Archangel 8. He's a writer. I want to support him in the first place.
Yeah, me too.
Hotel, definitely.
Love it. That's my favorite. That's my favorite.
Mine too.
No, yeah. So Greg, let's go. Let's you got one, Greg?
Man, I could throw out,
man,
I could throw out anything. So
whatever you want, my man.
Please be alienated. Please be alienated. Please.
I'll go to just we haven't talked about. I'll go Join the Future.
Oh,
nice.
That's another one.
Trade.
Thank you. So then you saved me. Then you saved me from having to do it.
There you go.
Like Aftershock, he just gets trades.
Oh man, you're missing out. This is such a good story.
Well, I'm gonna read it in like hour in about 2 months. I'll be caught up.
But this one really was good. Like I remember the first issue before quarantine hit everything like that. I thought was one of those stories that you read through it really quick. It was a very quick read, but it was something that it was quick because of how it was written, and it was to me it was very captivating. Issue 2 kind of, I was like, I think they were trying to find their footing, and I think finally in issue 3 they found their footing with where they want to go and expand the universe a little bit more of Join the Future.
Yeah, I think issue 2 kind of I agree with that because issue 2 kind of felt like they were
like
placeholder. Like they almost wanted to go make it seem very tropey and like you kind of knew what was going to happen, and then they're kind of switching it up a little bit. I like the way it's evolved.
So you guys are saying issue 2 was like not good, and then it turned it around, or are you guys saying that issue 2 felt like a placeholder?
I thought it was good.
I thought it was fine. I thought it was fine for one story, but like if 3 didn't step it up, I feel like because 3 stepped it up, it made 2 fine.
So it's funny because when I read it in trade, I probably won't notice that. Like it'll feel like connective tissue. You know what I mean? Like trades will do that. I've been thinking of that lately, especially on John and White Whale do their review. And sometimes they do a single issue, and like sometimes when I'm reading a trade, I'm like, how would I react to this if this is the only piece I read, and then I didn't read a new piece for a month? You know what I mean? Like Southern Bastards comes to mind. Like if I read one of those individually, I'd be like, this is generic bullshit. You know what I mean? But when you read a trade, you know, like I had that whole story. So I'm curious. That's why I asked about issue 2. Because I'll be thinking about it because I'll definitely read this trade. I'll be thinking about it when I read the trade, like how that connects together, like whether it just flows right through.
And I'm wondering too if just the time frame that it came out played into it, because issue 1 was so good that then it didn't come out for 3.5, 4 months. Issue 2, and I was hyping it up so much because of reading issue 1 that you don't wait 3.5 months for another issue, and so I feel like that wait kind of made it just a little bit more like it was fine.
So what's the no spoiler elevator pitch on this one?
No spoiler elevator pitch is you have two separate groups of society. You have one that's trying to make a utopia of come live in our city, you'll get everything you want. And then you kind of have like a rural Midwestern, like technology is bad groups, and they're trying to figure out,
I'll tell you what it is. It's Hickman's X-Men in the country western and future. No mutants or anything like that.
So that sounds like Hickman's East of West.
It's the Phalanx. It's the Phalanx taking everything over. It's Krakoa taking everything over and appropriating it. And all you have to do is give yourself over, and it'll be all good.
That sounds like
this recurring theme in a lot of comic books lately. It's not bad. Because it's something, when you think of like these utopias and like a dystopian type future, these are kind of the things that you think of anyway. Like I said, it seems kind of tropey, but I've noticed a lot of books seem like that. And then it's usually once you get into those 2s and 3s where it's like, okay, like they're just really actually switching it up here.
So that's my trade paperback argument almost, right? Alienated would have been the same way. The way you described it, Alienated might have been the same way. So
yeah.
I'd say though, like every time you think something,
the feature is the way issue 1 set up was decent. It set up where you did like what Bearder was stating, that you do have the setup of the 2 separate societies, and it's not to the end of that. I don't know, the last 3 pages of the book that something really dramatic happens that sets up for issue 2. Now, for me, issue 2, I read it differently, I think, than you guys, in the sense that how it hit me was it was an individual trying to find herself when she really didn't have to. And you get that questioning of where to go from here throughout the book. And it isn't until the end of that one that you end up having the individual coming to the epiphany of what they're grappling with the idea of what they want to address. In that, you get other storylines that are going on, which actually affect the issue 3 of the decisions that's made. You're reliving that whole decision all over again. And then the end of issue 3 that was depicted in issue 2. So there's a lot of things going on, but I think the way it's told is kind of different. And I don't know if it's how I'm reading it. Now, maybe I'm overreading it, but that's my depiction of and my interpretation of what I'm reading.
cool.
Yeah. I like though that on 2 and 3 they kind of, you think it's going one way and then it totally just flips and you're like, oh, I didn't see that coming, So that's been one good thing about it, where you're like, damn, like, you think she, it's gonna go the way she's saying, and then it just totally flips its lid. And
I like that too, because you're sitting there thinking, like, you start the book off like, okay, here we go. Mary Sue's gonna go get revenge on the big, on the man, and then you see that she's doing nothing but like tripping up the whole time. It's like, great, you're falling on your face, and then you literally get thrown under the bus by the person. I won't go there.
Which I love all that. Yeah. That's fun. I mean, that's a great way to tell a tale that, like you were saying, Trinity, when it seems like it's stereotyped, it's been done a million times, but you're able to throw these little twists and turn in there.
I really feel bad I'm the only person that hasn't read this. It doesn't happen often to me.
Well, hold on.
On the panel, I'm the only one not reading it.
Mm-hmm. So you guys know, I've actually been talking to Zach, and we've basically come to an agreement that, and this is for you, Chris. Once this ends, he will then come on the show. We will do an interview, and that way people can go ahead and get the whole trade version of it setting up, and you have that ability to get it. And we agreed that that'd be a good time to go ahead and set up an interview.
Plus,
so
dude,
nice.
Plus, the art is fantastic. Like, the artwork.
Yeah, it is. It actually is
fantastic. If I could find a good.
Hi, Kai. Hi, Kai.
Hello.
What up?
What up?
Will the Beard in the house?
That's awesome.
Bearded Comic Bros nemesis.
This man Perry, he always be like, "Oh, I get no invite," and I send him the link, and he don't answer.
And to answer Fatal's question that he was asking, I like singles. I'm not really into trade paperbacks, but once I got all the singles and there's trade paperbacks, if I like the story enough, I'm getting the trade paperbacks.
Yeah.
For the most part, I also like the floppy ones. If the extra money for a hardcover, it'd have to be something that I really want a hardcover on.
Right.
But I think I'm kind of also getting to the point too where, like, Some of them, I think I'm going to start collecting the trades instead of the floppies, depending on how it grabs me.
Yeah, same here.
What I've been
Over
doing
break,
lately,
I read a lot more trades.
what I've been doing lately, or trying to do, and it didn't work. I tried to do it with Alienated 8 months ago, but is buying the number ones if I'm interested, and then like waiting and seeing. I think I mentioned this even when we were doing on your channel, Trinity, and then waiting,
Yeah.
and then do the trade, and then see what the buzz is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm bummed because that's what I was gonna do with that Texas Blood. It was so good. I added it to the poll. I'm like, damn you.
Yeah. You should see. That's one where you should have just gone. Oh, it's coming out. I'll get number one. That's
Yeah.
also, listen, I don't care. I would sell it. I don't care about spec or anything. But for indies, at least, that's like 99% of the time. If one of them gets expensive, it's the number one. It's the first.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
All right, Kevin, you got a pick?
Kevin,
You know, the funny thing is you guys nailed two of them. I mean, you hit my Alienated, you hit my Join the Future. So I'm going to go ahead and hit a hardcore right turn then.
oh,
How about Unsacred?
oh, I'm
I
not
know
reading.
we're winding down. She's finishing it out.
I just cracked it open. I was about to just go read it before I remembered we were doing this, and I should probably wake up and join it.
Well, when we got an interview, it's gonna happen in 10 minutes. But yeah, he's on a gaming schedule, so he doesn't go to sleep until almost 7 a.m.
Last
Huh.
really was only to it.
Those endorphins, or no, when they're hitting your brain, not the endorphins,
I got you.
guys sitting there playing games. Dude, my son
Yeah,
is the same way. And he's 5 years old.
firing. Yeah, dopamines are going because
Yeah,
he's,
dopamine.
I just
Yeah,
got a new
dopamine.
skin. You know, I just
Yeah,
built a new craft.
and that's usually the thing in Warframe is, I mean, it goes through that cycle of you're playing because you're always getting things, you're always expanding, you're always getting better, you're always getting more powerful to just ram through every enemy in the game. So you're always working towards something,
No, I
and it
did
feels
it.
good.
I think I did a session of Grand Theft Auto 4 for, I want to say it was like 20 hours.
Oh God.
Just getting the better cars, better weapons, and all that.
Yeah, it was crazy.
So then, does that mean you already did read it, or you just?
Oh,
cracked
I
it?
didn't know Blaze did that.
Crack the stick.
Okay, so yeah, Unsacred.
You
It's-
just watched the second issue. You missed it.
Oh, yeah, I'm digging it, and that was the first comic I handed to my daughter's boyfriend because I'm trying to get him hooked, and I got him hooked on comics, which is I feel good about.
With the
I'm a dealer,
sexual one.
so yeah, exactly.
The comic drug
Hey,
dealer.
he's 20 years old. What better way to get him into comics than to hit him with Unsacred?
All right, there you
So
go.
yeah, I really like it. You know, it started out was a good way to go ahead and hook people in by the whole sexuality thing, and then by issue 3, she turns it on you and says, "Look, I know that all you've been doing is reading all the sexual parts, so I'm going to challenge you as a reader and see if you've been paying attention." So by the time you hit issue 7, you're like, you know what? I'm paying attention. I am involved, and now I'm invested. And it's doing cool as a story. It's cute. It's fun. And it's not at all where it's ending where it started.
Interesting. So what is it? Is it like angels and demons kind of thing?
The story, do an elevator style. The story is, two kids meet each other in a supermarket as toddlers. One's a little demon, one's a little angel, and they meet a good 20 years later at a concert. And they basically fall in love, and now we're in that development of that story.
Oh, nice.
Hmm.
That sounds cool.
Very.
I've seen Unsacred, and I've thought about grabbing it,
Yeah.
and I've heard like people that are reading it, Kevin especially, I've heard good things. So
All right,
Well, and
I
I knew-
thought about reading. I just never did.
Yeah,
I
me
knew
too.
that.
Earth is good.
Like anything else, you can't sit there and beat the same thing over and over. So it couldn't have been a sexual thing for 7 issues. I knew that couldn't last. So I knew it was a gimmick to get people in there.
So it's a little bit of development. Yeah.
Yeah. So by issue 3, it sits there and goes, I'm going to give you a story, and especially for those that have been paying attention.
Got my food. I'm gonna be right back.
Okay.
He's
I'll
eating.
go next, so then Trinity can go, and then my other picture can go.
Are we just doing indies right now? Because I noticed everybody's talking about indies. Is
I'm
that,
not going to do an
No,
indie.
whatever you want.
I generally would do indies, but
'Cause I got.
I'm going to go
read-
with I'm going to go with X Force.
I was Ask Bearded. I was reading it beforehand because I knew one of you guys would Trinity or Chaos would bring it up. I knew it.
So X Force is fall. You know, I still like it a lot. I'm one of these people that actually likes every single one of the X-Men books that are coming out. So it's expensive.
But I followed
yeah.
off after the
But this one
lockdown.
was my favorite, and I think X-Men has surpassed it. You know, when it was doing the Hickman stuff at the beginning, I liked it a little more, but now it's sort of doing its own thing. But I think it's really good because the X-Men here, like all the people that don't like Krakoa, the complaints that people have, you know, that they're not heroes anymore. I mean, they're really not heroes here. Like they're the CIA here, essentially, you know. But a few of them, there's a few, and I won't do any spoilers because I know you're in the middle of reading it, Dylan, and I don't know. If
Oh, you're good. Go ahead. I don't care.
and I won't spoil it. But some of the people that are been acting really bad, you know, are sort of I don't want to say brought to justice, but they're confronted, and then some of the people that you didn't expect to be acting like they did through these issues, you know, they're probably going to leave X-Force. And this is the last page, but it's not a spoiler, Dylan. You already knew this was happening, but
The artwork was really good in that
It
book.
always is.
I have like 4 pages left. I didn't get to finish it.
oh yeah,
Me
so
and
this
Bearded
is,
were talking.
it's fine. Look, it's true. I mean, it's Wolverine and Jean and Cyclops. There's a menage a trois going on.
Oh, it's getting hot and heavy.
Yeah.
Nice.
Is Cyclops in the back? Is he in the corner?
Almost.
Is he in the corner of the room watching?
I mean, I think he does in other contexts, but not there. That was a genie in a bikini moment, as we read.
Oh, nice.
Double the chaos, and yes, Borican. That's pretty much.
he's a diva.
Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. What you just said right there.
Divas have special requirements and special needs, supposedly. So he won't come on the show unless I give him two.
I just want to point something out. If you showed this, I just want to show what he was showing. If you can look at this. This really bugs me.
What?
This panel bugs me because there's something going on right here. Something going on right here. Right
So that's
here.
before Christmas.
Make him big, Dylan.
What's going on?
That really bugs me.
Oh,
What's going on?
It's very symbolic.
Steam?
oh, you mean
No.
like the Null logo?
This.
Yeah.
Looks like the spiral.
Go,
I
go
think you
look
might
that
be
stuff up.
reading.
Go look that stuff up on the internet. I'm not really gonna say anything, but I've been seeing it recurring in some Marvel comics. It's pretty disgusting.
Oh yeah, because I remember Chaos bounced, and we were gonna
It's-
tell you. He was
yeah.
gonna tell you about it, Trinity.
It's
Or
pretty
Chaos,
disgusting.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that much.
So spirals
and-
in Marvel.
Well, actually, Kate's did touch on that in his video. I don't know if you know that, but he did make mention that everyone in Krakoa will not be a match.
Right.
So that
Yeah, no,
is
it's-
part of.
Yeah, no, it's not that. It's what this is
Oh, okay.
symbolic of. If you get on the internet and look this symbol up, the people
Oh.
who are associated with this type of
symbol.
symbol, it's pretty
Gotcha.
disgusting.
Wait,
I'm
is it,
not
Null
sure that-
stuff or, is it Null stuff or Empire stuff?
What's that?
The symbol you're talking about.
It's Kate's Venom run, all the stuff that he's got
No,
going on,
yeah.
all that stuff.
You're gonna have to send me that link, Trinity, because I'm not in all the Tor network alt right things that you're in.
It has nothing to do with that at all.
I'm kidding, but I don't-
Just
I don't
how about
find
this?
it.
Just look up symbolism for pedophilia on the internet.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say.
well, no, I'm not stupid. There's no way I'm doing that. There's zero chance I'm going to type that into my computer.
Yeah, seriously, just okay, or just Pizzagate, whatever you want to look into, however you want to do it. It's pretty disgusting. It's pretty disgusting, and it's prevalent only in these runs. And then I started noticing it here in X-Force, and
but a spiral. You started noticing that people drew spirals.
Well, look at that panel. Why is that even there like that? It's completely nonsensical for that to even happen. I just don't know, man.
Find me don't tell me to type in symbols of pedophilia, because I'm not going to do that. But maybe find me the conversation on the internet.
If you're not looking up anything else, the government's not coming after you.
I just, I don't want it in my history. I don't want like 15 years later me going to history.google.com and going, why the hell was I looking?
You don't have to worry about Googling it. You're buying the comic book.
Yeah, there we go. That feels like it does feel like a Pizzagate thing aggressively.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what it is. I mean, it's all like all with that kind of stuff. I'm just like, man, I don't.
Who said it? Where did you find this? That's what I want to know.
I found it from a friend.
Sorry.
Somebody passed this information my way. Somebody that's not one of these right leaning. Somebody that's not like that at all. Like the person who pointed it out for me was just a friend that I know here locally, and was like, dude, and he's like, and he pointed the stuff out for me, and I'm like, and he started kind of going into it. I was like, I really didn't know that, like, he was paying attention to that kind of stuff, but he was looking up some of that stuff. I'm like, and he started showing me it, and I'm like, man, like, and I'm noticing it more. I've been noticing it a lot more. And I don't, whatever aggressively relaxing has to say, fuck out of here with that. Because you know what? Symbolism exists. Okay. People use symbols for shit to signify stuff.
But a spiral. So is the venom?
But a spiral? Yeah, I'm sure. Whatever.
That's what I mean. That's what I understand. Like spiral. So Uzumaki. Like that's famous. That's a famous manga, horror manga.
I'm just saying, it's pretty. I don't know. Plus, what's been going on here with all this stuff anyway? It's so fucking weird, man. It weirds me out.
Let's get to your comic, because I don't feel like I have anything to go off of after this last 5 minutes.
Hawkman.
Ooh.
Hawkman.
Ooh.
Oh, there we go.
I've never really been into Hawkman or anything like that. I started reading this on issue number 10 because of Comic Man Jake. He suggested this to me. I hopped in on issue 10. I started reading this, and what Robert Venditti has been doing here in this series is freaking fantabulous. It's great. He's taking, from what I heard from somebody else, I was in a chat with somebody else because I don't know the history of all these characters. Yeah. He's taking a lot of the history, almost like what Hickman's doing with his stuff, but he's taking a lot of these stories that have happened throughout Hawkman's life, basically, all these different issues, and tying them all together into basically one story to where it all seems to fit together. And it's been great. It's been great watching this story go along, because even learning about this character, I got up and had to look up, a little bit about Hawkman and then Hawkwoman and stuff like that. And I was like, wow, like what he's been doing in this story is great. And he took over Justice League for a little while, and I was enjoying that. And I didn't read the newest just because I'm just like, Venditti's not on it. But Hawkman has been great. What's been going on in the story is great. Seeing all these stories of Carter Hall coming together, awesome. I would absolutely highly suggest going and reading Hawkman. I see very few people talking about this. The art's good in it. Story's good in it. You can't go wrong with this book.
Yeah, the only person I knew that was reading that. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I want to get that in trade, because I hear that that's really good, that he aligns all the lifelines for Hawkman that we're like ever using. He makes it clear for once, because I guess his backstory, with the hundreds of lives he's had, can be a little confusing. So I've heard he's been doing a fantastic job.
I know that one of the good channels online, Sleepy Reader 666, was reading Hawkman for a long time. So it made me interested at the beginning. I think he started not to like it after issue 12 for a minute, and then he jumped back on in the last few issues and enjoyed it too. So it's one that's been in the back of my head. Definitely when DC gets light for me, which it has been lately, then I start thinking, I want to like grab something DC. So I'm thinking maybe Hawkman might be it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear it's good, man. I want to get into it myself soon. So I've never been a big Hawkman guy, but
I have not read Hawkman. That's a character I just haven't gotten into. Just coming back into the game a couple years ago. So there's just so much I'm trying to play catch up onto, and I'm picking and choosing right now. But
yeah,
that's the first time I've heard a recommendation for it. So now it's in there.
It's great. I don't read much DC neither, and that's kind of when it was suggested to me. I was like, I don't read much DC. I'll give it a shot. And yeah, I went and read it. I was like, man, like the first handful of issues I read, I was like, okay, I like what's going on here. And then once I got some more light shed upon me with that, they had all these different threads going on with this character. I was like, okay, cool. And then knowing what I've read so far to where we're at, has been really cool seeing it all kind of come together.
Nice.
Hell yeah. Am I next then?
Yeah.
All right. I guess I'll go with Deceased, Dead Planet. Now, I've been loving this series, just period, man. From the first one to Unkillables, now we're getting spoiled with this one, which I wonder if this is going to be the end, because I know this is like I think this is going to be like 6 issues, maybe 7 or something.
7.
Okay, see, this one doesn't say that. So 7? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, because at the end of this, they say that Cyborg has that there's a cure for everything. So now I'm feeling like I wonder if this is going to be the end of DC, or I don't know, because I've been enjoying the hell out of this series, and I always love to get these movie homage covers. I wish they go back to damn horror ones though. It's like, come on. I mean, Blade Runner is still cool, but it was like, man, there's so many awesome horror ones they could do.
I wanted the zombie variants.
Oh, the Matinas.
Yeah, no, I'm not like the ones they did on the original series.
Oh, yeah.
They're not doing those on this one. Where it's just like the close-up heads and stuff.
Yeah, they're more like.
But I've been grabbing those too, Trinity.
Yeah. No, Deceased Dead Planet. It was good, and they're gonna do a killing 7 issues at $4.99 for sure. I'm not sure that it's worth all that, but it's definitely a good story. I like what they've got set up, and I'm not sure if you guys read any of the 99-cent digital ones.
Are good.
Those things tie in so freaking great.
Right.
I'm reading them.
To the story, especially that issue number 4 they did. Like I read that issue number 4, I was like, dang man, I don't think feels.
The last one I read was Black Adam. What was the issue 4?
If you convert Black Adam's issue 2.
Yeah, Black Adam's issue 2. Yeah.
Wally West is 3, I think.
Yeah.
And then what's 4? I got to read that one.
Is where Superman basically goes and has a conversation with Superman's son. I don't know his name.
Oh, John.
Yeah, there you go, John.
Yeah, they're really good. I've been reading them. I just read them all last week, so it was in the mix. Like Deceased sold me too. So I read the first issue. I talked about this in my review video that's coming on Monday, but I read the first issue.
Yeah, I remember.
And then I just didn't get into it, especially with all the crazy variant covers in that first series. But I like Tom Taylor. He does that Second Earth stuff really well. Like
he does.
Yeah. So, and I like this a lot. Like I had some spoilers in it, like what I'm sure like Superman going into the sun was a really cool moment in the first series, but I spoiled it for myself. You know what I mean? So, but it is what it is. I love it too, though. I think it's pretty cool. I think like Hawkman, like DC people, I guess Marvel people are like this too. They're all like the same, but the DC people really love their main characters. You know what I mean? Like you get when it's Batman, like Tom King doing Batman, or if people don't like Punchline or Azraella doing Wonder Woman, Bendis is Superman. Like when they don't like where it's going, they're really pissed off, and it makes me just for DC, like I just want to read Hawkman and DC, like stuff that has no baggage. You know what I mean? Like just give me the no baggage DC.
Well, but I think, I mean, to that point, I think that's why you see like Tom King, he shines on characters that don't have that following. I mean, you have, you know, Adam Strange, you had Mr. Miracle. Find me a Mr. Miracle fan before those series came out. Like, you know, hardcore, you're not going to get too much. And
Yeah.
I think when you take away the whole that's not my Batman, that's not my Superman away from it, it allows you actually to invest in a character, which for all I know, that's not how, you know, Mr. Miracle was or how Adam Strange is and stuff. So these are my first exposures to it. And I think I can go in with that lens, which makes it nice.
Easier. But for someone like me that loves his Batman and loves Heroes in Crisis, you know what I mean? Like I could
liked Heroes too. I didn't like the way it ended, but I liked it.
I'm in the minority with you then, which is scary. Dang it! Why am I in there with you, Chaos? Because I like them.
There's a reason we're both finalists, Greg. There's a reason we're both finalists.
I got issue. I should have been finalist.
Yeah. I'd have that right now.
Bearded's too kind for saying that. He beat me, but that was very kind of him to say that I should have.
You were the only one that actually gave me a match.
I
didn't even give him a match. He doubled me out.
That is true.
Yeah.
But yeah, I actually got Heroes in Crisis, that first cover with the whole like universe behind Superman. I got it signed by Tom King and Clay Mann.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, that's awesome. Because I know a lot of people wouldn't care about it because it seemed like it got a lot of hate, but I enjoyed it. You know, it didn't end the best, but I still enjoyed it.
Mitch Gerads that was the artist on it. Clay Mann's the artist, or was it both?
Clay and Mitch did, I think he did like 4 through 7 or something.
Oh yeah, there was a cutoff.
I think Clay did like the first 4 and then the last 2 or something.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's sweet.
Oh, dang. I was like, the kid woke up. He's like, time to take care of the kid. And that time is over.
Yeah, that's nice.
Awesome cover. But yeah, my dad's work buddy went out to like Chicago Comic-Con. Remember, I have some Batman stuff signed too, like Matina signed. Some cool stuff. I remember
when you unboxed that, Dylan. I remember when you unboxed that.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. You were on there with me, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm bummed. I was going to go see Tom King at Con, and I think it was the end of March, because I've got a Batman 50 that I'm trying to get all the writers and artists to sign, and that was going to be a key one. And
that'd be cool.
Yeah,
that's probably the way to use. As much as I love that Batman run, I do agree with people that that's not the best like comic issue, but that'd be awesome. Like as an artifact, though.
Yeah, and that's
to get everyone to sign. It's awesome.
Yeah, so it's got 4 on it right now. So
yeah, what's next, Greg?
Well, let's stay in. I'll stay in the DC universe then. Let's talk Batman.
Oh yeah, thanks. So I don't have to. I don't got to use mine. What did you think of it, bro?
I'm gonna have to dip out eventually here with the kids on their walk. Not a fan, huh?
I like what I've read from Tomasi, but is this the one you're going to open or Batman?
No, that's Detective.
Oh,
this is Detective.
Oh, it's Detective. I didn't care for Detective as much.
I thought Detective was dope, man. The artwork was fucking sick.
Artwork is great. Let's talk about the Batman. It's Batman.
So I liked where this was going. I've loved the storyline of everything that they've been doing in this setting up for the Joker War. And who is the artist? Because I've really dug the art on this.
Brad. Oh no,
March.
Which, Chaos, you're right. You said in one of your videos, trying to find where DC puts their artists and their
byline is tough. Yeah.
Yeah. Gilliam March, and Albuquerque. I really enjoyed the story because you go from where I think the setup in with 89 basically to 93, you have the whole punchline and designer storylines, and I think that was it 92, the Riddler storyline was super underrated with Batman and Deathstroke, but I thought it was a cool transition to kind of see where they're going to set up now, leading into the Joker War.
Oh man,
I don't
I'm
read Batman.
I'm all in. I'm all in on the Joker War stuff. Trinity's not reading it. I'm surprised.
I'm not either.
I know he doesn't really read the Bat. Damn, why are you reading the Joker War stuff? What the hell?
I got Batman out, man. When Tom King left, I was like, here's my chance. Here's my chance to really read Batman's grave.
Messed up, man. You could have done a 180 and got it because Tinian's fucking slaying it, dude. The hype is real right now, bro, for Batman.
It's true. My only knock on him is I don't like how he's always trying to fit a gadget or a vehicle in every single issue, something different. Like it just seems cliche and cheesy and hokey.
I think that's like one of his goals is to do like put it.
Well, that's what he said. He literally
Yeah, I
said
read that
he's
too.
going to bring a different bat gadget or a vehicle in every issue he does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And at some point, it's like it feels forced.
yeah.
If it's every issue, I can see it being forced.
There was a cool thing where like Lucius gave him a type of key and it would turn it or any car into the Batmobile or something. That was kind of cool.
But then like there was an issue where it was like the Bat Luge or something. Like
Yeah. There was like
That's
bat.
cool. That's actually, to me, that's cool. That's cool. Like,
There was a bat train too.
because to be honest, like Tom King was campy too. Like he would have Condiment King there. Like I sort of like that their idea is like, okay, we're going to be serious and gritty, but at the same time, like, maybe we're like 4 years after the Super Friends. Like we're still in this campy universe to some extent,
Yeah.
But the Bat Luge is pretty.
yeah, I guess I didn't see it paying homage to like the 66 Batman by having every single thing of shark spray and
Shark spray.
Well, depending on how much time you got, if you want, do your third one.
Oh yeah.
no, I can hop. Oh, I'm still good for a little bit. So
Okay, cool. All right, Chaos, what's yours then?
I'm gonna go really indie and go with this book called Ginseng Roots. It's actually a mini comic.
I don't know if I
Is it about
feel
tea?
like I've heard of it.
It is sort of. So Dylan, I've actually shown an issue of this on your channel before.
Yeah, that's why I think I recognize it.
It's not super memorable, probably. Like it's not like it's really one of those like indie books, the kind of thing that would like be nominated for an Eisner or something. In fact, Craig Thompson is real famous for a book called Blankets, which I didn't read, which is about his like super religious childhood. This is about his childhood too, but it's about sort of the work that they did. Apparently, Wisconsin is like huge for ginseng, a certain part of it. Like the Chinese go and fly to their ginseng festival, and this is basically about him being like a poor kid farmer so that he could buy comic books and stuff. But the art is really good. It's really like clever and interesting, and it's partly autobiographical. It's partly like vignettes about like his little slice of life in Wisconsin. It's like it has like science. Like I've learned so much about like ginseng that you just accidentally like here's like the kind of ginseng that should be picked and stuff like that. So he's just a really good. I would put him more on the literary side. Like you find this in Diamond and stuff, but it's really more like the kind of like graphic novel thing you'd find like in a Barnes and Noble, to be honest. But I really enjoy it. The only thing I don't like about it, so in my little review show, I tell you this is my favorite comic book that I would never recommend to anyone because it's $6 freaking.
Wow.
You know how expensive that is?
For that little thing?
I'm all in. Well, it's still a 30-page comic. It's just smaller.
Yeah.
So I'm all in on it because I like him, and I was happy that he did issues of a comic instead of like a big thick ass book, because Blankets is like this big. There's another book called Habibi. I don't want to mispronounce that, which is focuses on, which I don't know anything about it, so I won't even say anything, but I think focuses more on like Muslim stuff, which he's not Muslim, but So he normally like puts out these huge ass books, you know. So I was like, oh, that's cool that he's doing it. And he's doing it solo. So I started buying it. It was $5, which I thought was very expensive, and now they're $6. So I don't actually recommend this. Maybe if that's something that would interest you, that isn't like superhero sci-fi, criminal horror stuff, that it's worth it, like a library pickup, or you know, just to see really these cartoonists. I'll call them cartoonists. You know, to see like this can only be done in comic form. You know what I mean? Otherwise, it's going to be too scientific, or it's going to be too, you know, it's just going to be a very dry a very dry biography. You know, so it's like really one of those things that shows like the way the medium can be stretched, kind of thing. So anyway, that's it on that.
Nice.
That actually sounds kind of interesting, though.
Yeah.
Right Side Chaos. What's your next pick?
Yeah, my next pick is this book is fucking deep.
Deep as hell.
But this is what we got to talk about. If Bearded doesn't read Alienated now, it's issue 4.
I want to read it because you now, Dylan and John, I've been on literally 3 live streams this week, and that's been brought up every single time.
It seems to be the book of the week. All right.
Before we go, I think it's probably on pre-order. It's probably coming up on trade. So the next preview is probably on trade. So that'd be the time.
Yeah, I think issue 1 has a second print, but Robbie might be able to find you some if you reach out to him. Or honestly, eBay I'm sure has it, but
dude, if you pre-order it, it's going to be like $11 so long as your discount's good at your comic shop. It'd be like $11.
That's a beautiful thing. I've got grandfathered in because I hopped in like right when they opened up 2 years ago.
Yeah, so it'd be $11.
This book nobody is talking about. No one's talking about it. This is definitely my pick.
I haven't heard about that. Can you tell me a little bit about that? Like,
no, it's called Alienated. Is that because they feel alienated, or because there's an alien?
I feel alienated because I'm the only jabroni who hasn't read it.
Yeah, what's that story about anyway? What is this? Curious.
Pitch.
I don't know. I just been...
Something with spirals, Trinity. Come on.
Oh damn. Yeah. What can I say? Buddy Shot.
Oh,
I didn't buy it.
Money Shot issue 6 came out. This book has just been absolute hilarity. This book is definitely not for everybody because you know all the adult sexual humor and everything in it. Issue number 6 I thought was pretty good, but it seemed like a really kind of in between story. Like it didn't. I almost feel like it was unnecessary, but it gave us kind of set up what's going to be going on in this next story arc. I guess the next planet that they're going to go sexually liberate. So it did all that well, but I kind of feel like maybe there's some stuff that they could have just omitted and got us into a little more, dare I say, action.
Yeah, it felt like there wasn't much. It didn't lead up to much, and it didn't do much in the story. You're right in there. Yeah.
And yeah, it just kind of seemed in between. Like,
but was it funny?
Issue need to happen. Like, just go on with the story.
But was it funny?
Yeah, there was some funny stuff that happened in it.
I love those first 6 issues. I was thinking about jumping to trade for this one, but I know I'll probably go to the comic store today and just pick it up.
Is that the end of the story arc? Issue 6?
Issue 5 was the end of the story arc.
Yeah.
This issue 6 is. I don't even think it's the start of the story arc because I think, like you said, Trinity, like it's an in between kind of issue.
Yeah.
They don't really set it up for what you're going to get next too much.
That one, I have to trade weight that one, so I'm waiting for that.
It's kind of like you see them like they're still been doing their thing. They're coming back from a little mission that they went and did. They get in a little bit of trouble at the school, and then you kind of see a little bit into their lives as you get a little bit of setup for the story coming forward. It really is just kind of like an interlude in between story arcs, it seems like. But it is a pretty decent book, and I mean I like the art and stuff going on in this book as well. I mean it just kind of cracks me up. It's a fun read, is what it is.
It seems like a very unique story. You know, like not many comic books stories are like that.
Yeah.
Like, I've still only read issue 1, so I mean, yeah, I mean from reading issue 1, that shit was wonky.
That is a creator I want to sit down with and just like, how did you come up with this? Yeah.
She is out there. If you look at her Trinity's like, check her IG page out, and I was like, she's wild.
Yeah, but it's mostly written. That's mostly, I think, written by Tim Seeley because she's not a comic book writer. She's just like a super sexual commenter.
Yeah, I think she's providing a lot of the content while he probably kind of does the writing. She's kind of giving her insights into it, I guess, probably more so than anything, and helping craft the story.
I didn't know.
She's the Google for him.
Right. Yeah.
He's like, what do I do?
Well, you know, sometimes like there's certain books I read, and like I'll look at it, I go, I hope that guy's a black guy if he said that, like the writer, and it turns out to be, you know what I mean? So there's certain jokes in Money Shot where you go, you know, I hope there's a woman artist, or I hope there's a woman writer on this fucking thing. Then that sort of helps for that, you know what I mean? Or that if it's her joke, you know?
Yeah.
So
I think my only thing about this book is the artist herself, Rebecca Isaacs, where you can tell that I'm not even sure. She probably has models, templates that she reuses because some of the characters in their face, they end up looking the same. Just several of the different characters, they have a lot of the same features. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I mean, maybe it's just her style too, and just what she's doing there with that. But other than that, that's my only real nitpick with the series altogether. Like it's like art or anything really. But it's been pretty good.
Yeah, I got to get back on it.
And have any of you guys been reading? Any of you guys read the Absolute Comics Group books? Like, like they do White Widow, and they just came out with like Katrina, Wayward Son, all those.
The only one I want to get, there's that Monster Isle that's supposed to be coming out that I wanted to get. The only thing I've read from them is White Widow, and I have the 4 issues, but I have only read. I think I've only read the first 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got 1 through 4, which I think 4 just came out like recently.
Yeah, they just released a bunch of number 1s last week.
Weirdly, my shop had some, and I'm
really?
He never gets none of that stuff. That's too. Crazy. I couldn't believe it. He's been getting some like random indie stuff, and I'm like, why? I'm like, you don't order Once and Future or Alienated, the good shit. And I was like, you're ordering this Absolute Comics, but you know. I'm sure they got. Was it what you're about to say? Is anything good that I should look out for?
I've got several of the number 1s, and I thought they're like because they're doing the same kind of thing. Like they're kind of doing almost like a shared universe thing too, where they have characters who are kind of going in together, like that we see even in White Widow. Some of the characters are kind of branching off and getting their own books. And the one thing I like about these guys is you can tell that. They're passionate about the books they're doing. The art in these books is actually pretty good. The coloring is pretty consistent in them. Just in the couple that I've read, and like you can tell they're really passionate about just putting out good books and things like that with good art. And that's what I like. Because where we see like a lot of things like maybe the story isn't as great, but the art is excellent, or the art isn't so great, but the story is excellent. I think they've got a great balance going on here with some of the books that I've read so far.
So I think they actually look like they're doing it. So I'm glad to hear that it's good inside, like what you've read, because obviously they're also putting hot chicks on the cover, and like I've always tried to tell people, like even though this is not always the case. It feels like my whole life everyone has told me that, hey, Vampirella, that's a real sexual cover, but this run right now is really good. Like Vampirella's always had good writers on it. I'm sure there's sections where it has, like Christopher Priest is writing it right now, and he wrote the Black Panther that we all know and care about, like in the mid 2000s, and I feel that way about a lot. Like I know that they're trying to sell comics, and there's a lot of stuff like that, like Witchblade and Lady Death, maybe not new Lady Death, but Lady Death from the 90s, Eva Ernie, Witchblade, it's that sort of girl that's little bit too sexualized for me too. But like on the inside, like someone's actually writing a pretty fun story, like that has good art. You know what I mean? I felt like that, especially of the three that I just mentioned, which are Witchblade, She, and Lady Death. You know, so I'm glad to hear that there's good stories in that, because my immediate thought, Trinity, is that is one of those. You know, 24 covers, kind of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That they do, like that's what Lady Death has become.
Right.
You know, so I'm happy to hear that they're actually fun stories inside.
Yeah, it seems like they're really crafting something pretty good, and they're pretty passionate about it. And that's one of the things I like. And like, you know, I'm not demanding it doesn't have to be the best, but what they're doing is actually pretty quality. And
good action stories.
Yeah, and the art on the covers isn't exactly what you get in the book. Like on White Widow, Jamie Tyndall does a lot of the covers, and he does I think in each one of the books he usually does at least a page or two of the art in them as well. And you can see that like the art in the book really closely matches a lot of his art as close as they can get to it, having a different artist on it, and I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was trying to see if I could find one of those covers.
You want to get yours in, Greg? Or are you in a hurry, or you still got time?
I'm actually I texted the wife and said, let me know if you need me to hop off, and she says I'm fine. So
Okay.
Cool.
Hey,
All right. So I guess
we haven't said that. Hey, if you need me to get off, well, I'll do it. I'll hop off the stream.
So I guess my next pick would probably, oh man, it's close between these two, but I kind of want to talk about a DC book, even though I did talk about Deceased.
I gotta say, I like this style.
I'm gonna just say I'm gonna save this for the cover. This is just my cover of the week.
Okay. That is a cool cover.
Batman Adventures 2.
Who is that? That's not Peach, is it?
Nugent. David Nugent, or I don't know how you pronounce it.
And that's Win. Win, like win $1 million.
Nguyen?
If it's Nguyen, it's
Yeah.
pronounced Win. It's pronounced.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought the same too, because it's kind of like that painted, it feels like, but no, that's not Momoko.
Yeah, I like covers like that though.
Me too.
Yeah, if it like I'm like sensitive, or I understand when people want the covers to like have something to do with inside the book. I actually like that too. But if you don't buy print, like almost sometimes like buying a comic can be like buying a print. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, see, this one, it's just, it's only a 6-issue story arc, so I'm like, man, this is Batman the Animated Series was always my favorite growing up, so I was like, I have to find issue 1, the variant, because I want to get all the variants from 1 through 6, but I only
Which
can
one?
find
The
main.
one of them running?
Yeah, I think Tim and Robin running or something. What's going on, Fanjexter and Gary? Chillmonger, what's up, man?
You're in the house, Gary North.
Yeah, cover of the week. That's okay. I wanted to talk about it, but we already talked on Batman and Deceased and everything, and I want to talk about this because I know I got that cover. I love it. The next Bermejo is fire, bro. It's legit fire. It's like Batman like knocking the Joker out, but it's like the Bermejo Joker version, and like Joker's he's like back like this. And Batman's like full swung, like he's already hit him, and Joker's like back, and like his head is like tilted back on the cover. It looks really cool. So I think this is my last. Is this my third pick? I think, but no matter what, something is killing the children. Gotta be talked about. This book is just, it gets better and better and better. Deja Thorns, and Chaos is still not reading this, I'm sure.
No, I missed the trade too. I didn't realize
the trade. I was telling Bearded, I was like, I don't think he got it because I know you were trade rating it, but come on, bro, you could have traded it and been picking it up in singles. Now, this book, the artwork gets better and better, and they're world building with this too. So I guarantee this is going to be a show or a movie one day. Should be a show, because this could be like when Supernatural goes on CW. This could be like, Supernatural is its own thing, and I love it, and it is what it is. But this could be this reminds me of that when I first read this, monster hunting, but more of like there's more of a secret society going on in the background, and that they didn't really have that in Supernatural. Kind of a little, but that was like in the past. But I love this, man.
Yeah.
I love this.
It's a great series, and that's the one that I picked up too. I would say the only thing I would say about it, like, because it's written that you could easily pull it off to be a show. I think the problem with it going to be a show, though, is that you're going to, because everyone who's reading it compares it already to Stranger Things just because it involves kids. And I think that's you're going to have that same issue of they have to figure out how they can world build and sell it, that it isn't just a horror version of Stranger Things. I think I think if you read it, you would get it, and you'd be like, okay, they're completely two separate stories. But I think for them to sell it to executives, that's what's going to be the top.
Well, if they got somebody good, the main thing is they have to get somebody amazing to play Erica Slaughter. If they get somebody that's like kind of, like 20s where she looks young but still an adult, but still young. And then when you introduce some kids here and there, it's not as much Stranger Things because it's like, oh, well, Erica Slaughter is, she's a young grown woman and she's the lead of the show. So I get what you, that definitely, it would be a problematic because people compare everything, just like how I compared the comic to Supernatural,
They have to get Emma Stone. They literally put Emma Stone in the comic book. Like she's Erica Slaughter. It has to be her.
Huh.
Dude, there was a beautiful cover, 1 in 25 for this too. Dude, it's like 125. Like the day it came out, I'm like, man, if I only could have got that puppy.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to keep reading this series. I've enjoyed it, but it's just kind of like it's almost almost like you guys are saying, like kind of like I can probably kind of see where this is going to be going with all of it. I'm not sure that I'm so wrapped up in it that much that I'm going to probably keep reading it.
Wow, that's the only lukewarm take I've heard on it.
Yeah, and like I said, it's okay. It's not one that really gets me, but I'm not really super into like even like some of that kind of stuff, like a whole lot of like the monster stuff or zombies or anything like that, which is kind of why it's a surprise that I like The Deceased, because I'm not really into like zombies, or let alone vampires even as well. I don't know. It's just not like.
I noticed you're not the biggest horror fan, are you? I thought you were like you dip your toe in it.
I like gore. The stuff I've found, the stuff that I've liked is like body horror stuff, like what's going on with like X-Force. Oh, whoa. But what's going on there with like all of that stuff there where, just like all the like where Domino is all chopped up and all that stuff. I'm like, yes, like this is freaking great. That's what I want to see. Like, I like that kind of horror. Like, I'm not really into like the monsters and like, ooh, we're scary.
Lauren, share the screen.
Oh, I'm just a huge horror fan.
Uzumaki right there. This is, so I don't want to get back into your spiral thing, but there's a very famous manga that's drawn really well.
Oh,
Uzumaki, and Uzumaki means spiral in Japanese. And Junji Ito is known for being the best body horror artist, like in comics. So manga, Western, he's known for it. And let me get it. There's another cool one. Hold on. Like when you read, I didn't like Uzumaki because I don't like the body horror as much. I get a little bored with everything, but it's good. Like it's weird because what's happening is some kind of conspiracy where spirals are just happening everywhere through the city. Like serious, like you pointed out, and like people are dying. People are dying in spirals when one of the guys that commits suicide by stuffing himself in a small can in a spiral, like they burn, they cremate him, and then the smoke turns into a spiral and lands in the lake. Like it's exactly what you said. So you need to go check out Uzumaki at your library.
Hey, and the next Saw movie is going to be called Spiral.
Is it really? Okay, you're not a freak, Trinity. I'm on your side
now. Is somebody going to start talking about blue wrenches in the comments now? Like,
oh, we got blue wrenches too.
The blue wrenches.
I had a purple eggplant, so I have some power on your channel.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm good with the purple eggplant.
Uh,
Yeah, we're good there, buddy.
Oh man.
Oh man, that's funny.
Hey, this came out last week, but I know you're a big Michael Moreci fan. I wish I could have talked with you about it last week. Did you pick up the plot number 5?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So good, man. So
see, the plot is not going anywhere either.
so good. I guess they got a different colorist on it. It was still
Yeah.
similar. Like you couldn't really tell, but I loved the flashback. Like you know how the entire issue basically took back in the past. I thought that was really, really cool. And it just the setting that you know, the art, like the artist and the coloring just set that mood perfect.
Yeah, I do, and that's what I like. You know, kind of like even like John Lee's. You know, you got some of those comics, Dylan, those other series that he did too. But I like the horror like he's doing. Like that's the kind of stuff I like. Like with Hotel, with Mountain Head. Those are the kind of things I really like. Like I said, just like the monsters and zombies and stuff. It just doesn't quite do it for me. Like I need a little more than that.
Isn't Plot doing that though? I stopped reading Plot after 4.
Doing
I like
yeah, no, Plot's great. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it is. I think it was pretty. So I like Morici, so let me clear that up. And I know you're a big fan. You talk to him and stuff like that. But the plot really was a lot like Red Mother, where it's like, oh, another issue of this.
Oh, okay. I never read Red Mother. I didn't read that one.
Yeah, I need to read that for sure.
Yeah.
I do like Morici though, so let me clear that up. Archangel 8, I am a fan. So.
Good shit.
Yeah, Archangel 8's been pretty good too. That's been
Issue 3 was good.
Yeah, I've only read issue 1, but I have 2 and 3 here. I just haven't got to them yet.
Yeah, Red Mother was a slow burn where I'm like, okay, it needs to pick up the story more. Like each issue is the same.
Exactly, Bearded. I feel the same way.
I still like Red Mother though. I think it's good.
Well, if I just grabbed one issue of Red Mother at random and I read it, I would be like, oh, this is pretty good. The tone's great. The tone, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when you read all 4 of them, it's like, oh, they all 4 do exactly that. You know?
nice, dude. That's
Dude,
great. Oh man, yeah,
Isn't it sick?
Love it, man.
You'll love this, Trinity.
yeah, freaking love it. I mean, that's what I loved about God. What was it? Hotel issue number. What was it number 3? Was it number 3?
No, 2.
Oh, no, issue 3 hasn't come out, so because you read them before.
Okay. Yeah, I was saying that's why I'm getting mixed up because I've read most of them. Okay, yeah, it was issue 2 where the dude's chopping up his wife and putting her in the suitcase and all that stuff. I was like, oh man,
Yeah, that's
it's great.
issue 2. That's issue 2.
Yeah.
That one's so
and
good.
then even what was going on in Mountain Head, just like some of the crazy gore and stuff.
Oh
going
my
on in Mountain Head, it's
that
like,
issue 4 was so good.
yeah,
Issue 4 was so good.
Yeah. yeah.
I love issue 4, man. Like that one, when I read that, I was like, dude, this is just bonkers. I love this issue where it's raining, dude. Such a good, like, get volume 1 and 2, man. It's so worth it. Like, I love
Who's the publisher? Who's the publisher on that?
Comics Tribe.
Oh, nice.
Huh. All right.
That looked pretty good to me.
Look at
Nice.
Oh man. Oh, you've showed me this multiple times because I've opened it multiple times, and the trade is a little bit expensive, dude. It's $20.
It is, yeah. Oh yeah, kid. I told you, yeah. Because I'm trying to get you to read it, and
You
yeah,
gotta convince me. I just need to get it.
dude, she like they like staple like a clown nose on her, and she rips it off. Like they staple it on with like real nails. Oh man, all right here.
Nice.
I wish, man. I'm trying this volume 1. I didn't have open because I had them send me a new copy. It was all beat up.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was trying to find some good clown picks. It's so good, man. Alex Cormack is such an amazing artist.
Nice. I love it.
But I'm bummed that Mountain Head is ending though, man. That issue 4 was nuts, and the artwork is. I really like it.
What was it? Wasn't it like issue 3 that like kind of went off? Like maybe it was the end of issue 2. I don't know. They started showing some gory, like crazy off the wall bonkers stuff. I was like, oh my god, like yes, okay. I'm like, you got me. I'm there.
We
Because-
waited long for that.
Yeah, because the art in there is so weird. It's like I don't even know what it is about that art, and then by the time that gory stuff is happening, I'm just like, I love it.
Yeah.
Let me see. I got him right here.
Oh, he does Road to Bone. He's the artist on Road to Bones. Road to
Yeah.
Bones. Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
Which other? Who's that? John
Yeah,
Lane.
so then Alex Cormack. But John Lee's writes it and Alex Cormack does the artwork. This is
I haven't read a single Comics Tribe.
Me neither.
Yeah, I haven't read any of these.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, yeah, I love it. Yeah, that stuff's great.
Chaos. Have you been reading Mountainhead?
No, you keep asking me that, and I keep saying
No,
that one I do want to read.
That was Sync. Look at this guy rips his eyeballs out.
Yeah. Well, show him the page right before that where he reaches for his reaches for his eyes, dude. Like that picture right there, dude. That's creepy as hell, bro. Like,
Yeah, with the
dude, that's
smile.
just freaky.
So Trinity, you don't like death metal, but you like the art. This is all like stuff I'd see on a cover of a death metal album.
Dude, he fists his eyes out.
Right?
He
Yeah.
scooped them damn eyes out.
Oh. Yeah.
Is,
No,
Hey Greg, does Tracy Chapman put this on her album covers?
You know, I don't know. I don't buy albums anymore. I just do digital, so I don't know what she puts on her cover. So
He's like, "What's an album, boomer?"
Yeah. An album. I listen to singles.
Digital downloads.
Oh,
Anymore.
Bearded.
Yeah.
So your next pick, my man.
I know I'm trying to figure out what I.
It's hard, man.
Well,
This
because
is
you guys
a
have all picked, all picked my top three, and so I'm
Okay.
trying to narrow it down to which I would be my pick.
That's why your first pick when we start this, it's got to be. Now we know the strategy now. It's got to be like your deep indie.
Yeah.
Like that's the strategy, right? So then you don't waste your X Force.
Well, here's my strategy. I'll let Chaos and Dylan pick what do you want? The last three.
I pick Osiris Path, but with no spoilers because I'm still waiting for mine to come in.
All right.
Thank you, guns.
So no spoilers.
No spoilers.
Osiris, I didn't want to like bring it out because I don't want to be on the head with the fact that I got to interview the writer this week with him.
Yeah.
But the short description for the elevator. This is issue 2. It's from Behemoth Comics, so it's a new company that's coming out, releasing stuff. They're coordinating a lot with video game licenses. So that's on issue 1. I'll grab that here and show you. But so Osiris Path is basically think Indiana Jones in space, dealing with then like a little bit of black magic and stuff like that. So basically, it's the government. It's set in like 1980s. The government brings an archaeologist into the fold. He starts them on a spaceship, and they're trying to figure out he's like, why am I here? What am I doing? And basically, the idea of trying to figure out why there are these archaeological artifacts on like the moon and Mars, and just kind of the world that he's being exposed to in there. And so it just is I'm excited for the series. So it's a 3-issue series that they're going to, if Behemoth, starts to do well and they pick up, that they're going to expand into a 12 issue universe and kind of go from there. But so it was a lot of fun.
Nice. Yeah. I watched
I'm gonna
your
have to
Victor
check
Andrews
that out.
interview. It's gonna be tough to find because I saw it on pre-order. I saw it was Behemoth. I saw it was issue number 1. I was like, oh, that's a new publisher. So I just pre-ordered it immediately, but I did it online, so I won't see it till a week or 2 from now.
It's tough. Like I found it at the one comic shop in Columbus here where they had it. They were talking about, so I picked it up. And I went today, or I went to that same shop on Wednesday to grab it when I found out issue 2 was dropping. They didn't have any copies of it. and so like I had to call the other one that there's only like 3 shops that if in Columbus where if they'll have any indie book basically. So I
Really?
called them up and they're like, hey, we have one more. Like, I mean, most of them all of them have the Image or Boom. But if you're going like Vault, you're going now Behemoth or, something else. So I had to call them. I had one issue. So it's going to be a hard one to get just because it's such. I know issue 1's already going to a second printing, but that also means, I mean, I feel like they started really low, but the fact that people want it, that's a nice. So
That is cool because they probably only printed like 1,000 or something, like a real low, my guess. But number 2 is gonna be tough to find. Then I have it subscribed to, so I'll get those because it's only 3 issues. So
right,
I'm always afraid to subscribe to stuff, but if it's 3 issues, that's what I would have stayed with something anyway.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Nice.
Dude, I'm gonna check that.
I didn't even get read through all my books this week.
I got through most of mine, I think.
Yeah. I
I know.
picked up a couple of extra books. Like I got Spencer Block 2, the 4-issue series. So Sonata.
So that's my next book. This is the series sort of ends here. It sort of does that thing with Once and Future where it ended and then has an extra page just in case that they're going to continue the story.
Oh, really?
You know what? This book is
Little mid-credit
really
thing.
really well paced and really interesting. Definitely something the art was good enough, but my complaints when I first started reading it were with the art, and then I sort of got used to it and enjoyed it actually. But the art's a hard sell on the first sort of pass. But this story just has a lot of layers to it, which makes me really like it. So there's almost a Romeo and Juliet aspect to it, because the elevator pitch for at least the first issue is that there are 2 planets that orbit close to each other and they're not very friendly, and they're able to get to this other planet that is livable like only like once a cycle, something like that, right? So they both land at the same time. There's another race of people there that are a little bit more primitive, or they appear to be more primitive, and so you sort of get this. That when the story goes through, you sort of get this mix of these societies, how they related to each other, whether they're related. You find out all these mysteries that sometimes they seem obvious, and other times you think you're going one way and you didn't. And it's just paced real well that you get the revelations like with each issue. So it really fit and worked to be an 11-issue series. And then you mix that with the 2 main characters, which is a female from one of the races and a male from the more warrior race, and the way they become connected. So it just gets really big and epic. So I really liked it a lot. That first trade is out. It's one of those that are $9.99, like that Image does. So I think it's really good.
What I was away when you pulled up the book. What is it?
Sonata.
Oh.
Yeah. So, and it's an Image book. So if that's something that shouldn't be too hard to find, or if you see it in like dollar bins or something like that, definitely really good sci-fi. I would say it's science fiction. There's pieces of it that look like magic, but it's really just a science fiction book at the end.
Who wrote it?
David Hein, who is one of those guys that have written a lot of things. He wrote Spawn for a while.
Really?
Yeah. And Brian Haberlin is the art, but he takes a sort of different style. But David Hines, one of those guys that it's been around for a while, that maybe just didn't get super famous, but has enough of a following that he still gets a lot of work, kind of thing.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
So he wrote Judge Dredd. He's written X-Men. He's written Spawn in his career.
Right.
He wrote the Civil War X-Men spin-off, Inhumans. So I mean, he's been around kind of guy.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
yeah. So well-written book in the end is what it was.
What's
Anyway,
your,
that was my number 3.
there we go. What's your side shots number 3?
I haven't read him yet, but let's plug Bearded's channel again. So not only did he interview the guy from Osiris Path, but he also interviewed Victor Dandridge, who seems local. I think he's local,
Yes.
right, to you. And this dude, He actually has a comic show. I forget the name of the channel, with a comic store that does reviews, and I'd never heard of him. It's weird the way there's all these little pockets of the comic community that hasn't connected with the rest of us.
Yeah.
But I bought after I so I realized I didn't comment on your video, so I did watch it, but I was driving when I watched it, so that's why there's no comment. But I spent $27 on his store, so
Hey, there you go.
yeah. So the Samaritan is a superhero book. This one is I know this only from the interview. This one is from his more personal. So this is a very more personal book. And then I think you just bought this, right? So
I did.
Origin.
So that's one of the ones I hadn't read of his. And when I asked him, like, what would you recommend if you were telling him to read one of your books, that was the one that he recommended. So, because, yeah, I'd started with Trouble with Love.
So,
yeah.
I got 3. Eventually I'll read them and they'll be on my channel.
Nice. I'm excited to hear what you think.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, that's my other cameras.
All right, Trinity.
I didn't get a whole lot of the rest of my books read, but you know what? Here, I just got to talk about this because
Spirals. Please be
I
spirals.
picked up some smut. This week. This Alternate Paths book with, yes, some smut in there. There's boobies. There's
Show the boobs.
you get inside and you get
Show the boobs.
some things that I don't think I can show here on your channel.
Dylan doesn't care.
Oh, Dylan doesn't care? Well, I was gonna say, I think
Dylan.
full on nudity is probably against YouTube's policies, even in cartoons.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like you can open it up and stuff like that. I didn't get read through this, but I did before I bought it. I flipped through it to see if this was all just smut or if they actually put a story in here, if there was something going on. And it looks like they actually have kind of a story going on here. And I think these, just like Chris is saying too, like these people have like these sort of little pocket fandoms out there as well, because it seems like the creators here kind of have that same kind of thing going on with this line as well. I'd never heard of it, and this is only $2.95 for a little bit of comic smut. So hey, can you beat that?
Tarot is like that. It has a big following, and there's just a lot of nudity in it. It seems like the Conan people like it. So it's like more sexual Conan. So, and that comic's like at number 240 or 45 or something like that.
Yeah, I think to me it's just interesting with some of these kinds of things because like obviously a lot of creators put out these kind of books with the smut. They got all the all the boobies and all the sex and all that kind of stuff going on. It's like I mean obviously there's people out. They wouldn't make these books if there wasn't people that didn't want them. You know what I mean? So like a lot of these things kind of interest me when I see them coming out. I'm like, yeah, and I'm always curious about some of them too. So I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna pick one up. Why not? We'll see how it is.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. That's how you find some of the goodies.
I'm coming.
Oh my god.
We'll see.
I'm trying to think if I got an honorable mention. This was pretty cool. I don't know if you read Red Nail. I think you dropped it.
Yeah.
That's coming. Red Nails is coming along with Osiris Path. Is one of them that I picked up. They do the cool homage covers on there, so I kept saying I'm gonna not read it. I was like, oh, the homage cover's cool.
The next one is gonna be for the next, because that's the end of Red Nail, so it's gonna be another story, and it's gonna be a Batman 27 homage, and I ordered that one.
Where's the
YouTube is 90.
What's up, Chad?
I have something that I wanted to say.
Go ahead.
A while back, I remember. A while back.
After you're done, I want to talk about this before. Go
A
ahead.
while back, I mentioned.
Have you just been Googling comics with spirals on them?
He has been.
That's just Daredevil number 1.
That's where he went a minute.
That Sonar's been there for 40 years.
You're only proving his point.
Yeah, right. I know. Really.
Really.
Those are all Marvel books. But remember a while back I was talking about the Vault Challenge.
Oh my God!
What?
Look at the magic. You see that? Do you see that?
Where is it? Where's the spiral?
Right by her hand. And the book.
On the
like,
book.
right between the hand and the book.
The corner of the
man.
book. The
Yeah.
bottom corner of the book.
It's there,
There's
man.
a couple of them, but that one's like the biggest.
I
They're
just see
all like-
tentacles.
All around the book. How can you not see that? Look at
Yeah.
Oh, I see it. Oh, another spiral. There's also some straight lines.
it's
There's
all.
also some straight lines, which is a separate conspiracy.
Well, we're gonna launch all those. I'll have this dude. I'm telling you, this guy will be on it. This guy will be on it.
Hey, find that Reddit conversation for me. I want to bring that guy on my channel.
But the no, the vault challenge I was talking about a while back. Well, you know what? I think I finally did it. I found the vault challenge was to go out there and find a Vault Comics book that wasn't that great or that you didn't like. I was looking for one. I'm like, does Vault have a title that I won't like? And I found it.
I have one.
I found it.
No one grows with
Oh,
mine.
was it Test? Perry said Test was terrible.
No,
I didn't.
might read
I
that.
never got to read it.
Test is terrible. But
Is
I didn't care for No One's Rose, and that's a recent one.
She said Destroy was terrible. That was maybe the worst book I read last year.
Really?
It
Well,
was
see,
the worst.
Vault to me can be hit or they're miss.
Right.
I haven't
like
found
all
like
that.
anything in. Well, no one's Rose was in between. I'd say it wasn't like horrible. It's just like not enough. It's just not my cup of tea.
I
No
like
one.
I want to know what your book is.
I like knowing. What is it? What is it?
You're reading X-Men and Krakoa. You don't need to read No One's Rose. Same thing.
Yeah.
I love No One's Rose. Oh, you don't like No One's Rose? That's one you don't like?
No. I think No One's Rose. It's
No,
okay.
that's-
I've been reading it. I'm gonna
it's
keep pulling it because I think it's only 5 issues.
I dropped it. I just gotta drop some shit. I wish if someone needs issues 1 and 2, I got you.
That
What
one.
is that?
Oh, I think I read an early issue of this.
Yeah, they've got a free #1 on their website. But yeah, I read that one, and I still got to read issue #4 here. But I read issue 1, 2, and 3, and I was kind of like, oh man.
Madeline Visaggio?
Yeah.
I like her though.
I was reading through the book. I read the first 3 issues. Got to read this one still, but I was like, man, I can't it was like, for me, it was like the ultimate challenge because it's a perfect book for me to find what I wanted to do. Kind of the point of what I do with some of my books is trying to find a book that is very hard to review because I can't find anything good to say about it. That's this book. I can't find anything good to say about it, and that's my challenge at this point. I'm sitting here like, how do I review this book? Because I don't want to do reviews where I'm just sitting there just saying this book sucks. There's nothing good about this book, because I feel there's got to be something, doesn't there? But in this one, I just can't find it.
Really?
Yeah,
Now I got to read it.
yeah.
Now
I know, isn't that terrible?
Chaos is like, listen, we should just flip the script, do like a bad book review, and you'll get people to want to watch it.
Right.
Because Chaos is looking it up right now. He's gonna see.
He's probably
I
finding
think
it
I
now.
have the first one though. I think I have it.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I know they had the digital first, or the digital ones that they were doing, like Vault. If you go to their website, they have a lot of the digital, or like the digital copies you can get for the #1s. I know that's where I found the first one of it, and the very first one of the first story arc, it was okay. It was enough to grab you in and make you want to read an issue 2, I guess. But I didn't read it just because they didn't have it at my local comic shop. So yeah, this one started coming out, and I read it. I was like, oh man, like that's rough.
Have you guys read Heist from Vault?
Yeah.
You guys been reading that one?
I have. I have only issue 2 of that one. Wait, is it the planet heist?
It's Heist, the planet. What I forget the full title. It's one of those like. It's a Panic at the Disco album title. Like it's 18-word title.
Yeah.
I picked up I think the first 3 issues and I just lost track, but I want to get back into it because it was really good.
I have #2, and I was waiting to find #1.
So I have 1 and 2. Heist, How to Steal a Plane. I guess it's not that long, but
Yeah, that's pretty long though. Yeah, I like that one. I think that one's supposed to be coming out with the new one too. I think next week or so.
And I think that's might have been why it sparked it. I think I saw it recently. I'm like, ooh, I got to play catch up.
Yeah. I read that one. I thought it was okay. I thought it was decent. I mean, it's kind of like I think, what was it, Edwin the Comic Jabroni? He's the one that kind of put it like, it's kind of like an Ocean's 11 kind of book. To me, I think it's like Ocean's 11 meets like Guardians of the Galaxy kind of thing.
Okay.
Is that Vault?
It's
Is
Vault.
that Vault?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Heck yeah. But you see, this book was phenomenal. But you see, Middle West is ending.
Yeah.
I'm bummed
It'll be
about
fine.
that. I love that title, but at least I get this to replace it. I think this is. I wasn't even gonna pick this up, and then last minute I'm like, you know what, man? I give Scotty Young a shot because I like him as a writer. Like his artwork, everyone, there's people who really like it. It's like some I like and some I could care less for, but I think he's a great writer. I think he has like, I don't know, the way he draws, he can kind of do those childlike adult stories in a way, like Middle West, that'd be something I think that a kid could read, but it definitely has an adult take on it too. But Strange Academy, I loved Harry Potter growing up. So this is like Marvel Universe meets Harry Potter. So
It feels like that's what it's going to be. It feels like it's going to be Harry Potter in the Marvel Universe.
yeah, I think if it does good, that they literally could like go the sky, like do a Harry Potter Strange Academy universe. Like it'd be funny as hell to see that. Like get they upgrade to a freaking castle, because right now they just got like a like a decent sized building, but I don't know, it's funny. I forget, maybe it looks a little more like the Xavier Mansion.
I think it does.
Yeah,
I gotta go.
because issue 1 came out so long ago.
Right.
I gotta go to the comic store and buy Money Shot and Ghost Rider. Those are the two I missed.
And Something is Killing the Children trade.
I bought the trade on Amazon while we were talking.
Oh, then pick up issue 7 and 8.
Yeah, we'll see.
And,
I'll read the trade first.
Should have said something. I could have just sent them to you.
Huh?
I could have just sent them to you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
You knew-
if you don't want them.
Yeah. Well, it's not that. I could have sent them to him to read. He could have sent them back. It's all good.
I said I would have
True.
Sonata, but I just gave it away.
Oh
But-
man.
Yeah,
So,
I
yeah.
didn't read that Strange Academy, but I've heard a lot of people say it was pretty good. But I just remember reading that preview that was in the one book, and I was kind of like,
Yeah.
I was like,
That's
it
how
doesn't look interesting to me.
dude,
It
that
doesn't mean either,
preview
but if it's good, it's good. Like it doesn't.
that preview was misleading though, because each page was like from different parts. It didn't read linear. Every page that they put in that preview was like from different parts of the book.
Keeping around.
So like it was random. I don't know why they did that, because I wasn't. That's why I was like, I'm not getting it. I'm not feeling it. And last minute,
say that too.
yeah, last minute, a lot of people are like, man, there's all these new characters and stuff. And Kevin was actually the one who really and I was like, you know what, man, I love Middle West. I was like, what's one issue? I'll give it a shot, and I loved it.
So that's the one I need to get in the Middle West. That's another one I just missed the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I missed it too, and then luckily I was able to like pick up issue 1 offline, and then I just was able to track down issues 2 and put it on the pull, because that's a good one. I remember that and Farmhand were coming out. I know a lot of Farmhand's still going too, so maybe I picked the wrong one, but that one's like where they're playing like growing body parts. But Middle West was, dude, that's one of my favorite Image titles in the last 2 years. Like it's phenomenal.
So I have them all. I'm only on issue 10 or 11 though. So,
Yeah. I couldn't believe that. There was I don't know if like maybe because of COVID, like they were supposed to make an announcement that it was ending. Because when I read the last issue, I had no idea. You just go to the back and it says, next issue concludes. Like I had no idea.
Well, here on the kids channel, he interviewed Scotty Young, and he gave the explanation. He goes, we had, the comic was popular, it was selling, and he said, we'd always planned to end it around then. We had the ending, and then we started thinking. He goes, maybe 8 issues ago, we started thinking of ways that we can like continue it on. And then he said, since the story's so personal, like it, I guess, has to do a little bit between him and his dad, that he is just not honest enough to the characters to like make it ongoing just because it's popular. Like he'd rather have it, the story finished in what he wanted originally. Yeah. So that's the reasoning behind it. So
yeah, that's cool though.
Dylan, I have to hop off. I gotta go get ready for the kiddos.
So do I, Dylan.
So
you gotta go. Oh, well, then we'll end it then.
All right, fellas.
But we went almost 2 hours. That's a good one. You know, we usually that's what we go for about anyways. Yeah. So anyone got anything going on they want to talk about? We'll start with Bearded.
I mean, if you guys don't follow me, go ahead, follow me. I try to throw out some indie creator interviews. I'm going to be hopping on John's channel tonight, talking some movies. We're finishing up his series that he's doing of African Americans in cinema. And yeah, not too much else planned, but I'm sure I'll be dropping videos still this next couple weeks. So yeah.
Hell yeah. If you're not subbed to my boy, man, make sure you go just check his channel out and sub my Ohio brother up, man. Go show him some love. We got to get him to 300.
Yeah, I just recently subscribed because I thought I was subscribed to him before, and I think just recently I seen somebody drop his link, and I clicked on. I was like, "What? I'm not even subscribed." I thought I was because I think I've been following you on Twitter for a while.
Yeah,
and then I seen. I was like, "What the hell?" I was like, "It could be one of those YouTube things too, where you subscribe and then all of a sudden they boot you."
Well, I also think it's one of those things like you follow people on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. You're like, oh, you see their content because if you're posting on Instagram or Twitter, it's the same, or you're plugging your YouTube. So you're like, oh, I figured, so it's like, what's going on, but you're like, I forgot that I'm
right.
Also used to be so easy to just click on the person's name in YouTube and sub to them. And now it's not. Yeah. So I used to just sub to everyone I interacted with because everyone loves subs so goddamn much. So I do my part. I'll sub you. You know what I mean? And like now there's people that I've interacted with in the last 6 months that I'm like, oh, I'm not subbed to you. Like, oh, that's weird. Cause I used to just do it in the chat. Like as I was in the chat.
Now you can't just click. It's annoying as well.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Crazy. All right. What you got going on, Cass?
I just, at lunch, I recorded my, like where I just sit and review or talk about books. I talk about some of the books I talked about here. It's not only new books, it's just whatever I read. So that'll come out Monday morning. And that's it. That's all I have.
There we go. My man, Trinity. One of the best in the community for last.
Yes. Yeah. And I was gonna say, people, exactly. He's right. Don't take me too seriously. Don't take me too seriously. Look at me. Like, come on, look at me. Would you take this face seriously? But yeah, no, I don't really have anything coming up. Just doing those live streams in the morning. I recently changed it from the morning movie chat because some of my friends, one of my friends, he does he got his morning comics and coffee thing that he's doing, I think, or morning movies and brews. So I'm like, you know what? He got the movie thing. I do mostly comic books, so I'll change mine to comics, coffee, and weirdos. And so you can find. You can go check me out at Second Street Marvel. Usually flapping my gums about spirals and comic books and all kinds of other good stuff. Just having fun, man. Good stuff. I did this show on Thursday night. This stream called Nerd Therapy, and I'm telling you, it was a great show. And I want to do more of those kinds of streams with people. If you haven't checked it out, I would highly suggest going and checking out if you want to see stuff like that. If not, hey, you don't have to subscribe. I'm not going to make you subscribe to me.
Oh, man. Hell yeah, man. Well, I can't wait for next week to do this again because we got some good books coming out again this week. Not as much as this week, but there's still some good shit coming out. Venom 26 is going to be a hot one. Immortal Hulk, and we got some other good stuff. So, yeah, man, maybe we'll go live later. If any of you guys are free, maybe we'll do something, hang out for a little bit since it's Saturday. But appreciate everyone hanging out, and we'll catch you guys next